Yes. Welcome back to another stream. You know why I got drips all over me? It's because it's pissing it down outside. The Manchester weather is in true form today. Hope we're all good. Hope you all had a good day. It feels like ages since we last spoke to people, bro. And I wasn't even on the morning one today, so it was only 2 o'clock, but still, it's been a long 6 hours, that.
It's a drag, mate. We got the addiction break.
I know what it is, bro. I know what it is. It's because we spent so much time in Al Mazrah. It feels like it's been ages, bro.
Yeah, very true, very true. Yeah, another stream for you here. Some more transfer news and some more rumours about Bernardo Silva. However, it's not just a standard, he's been linked with this team. There's also some interesting comments on this Bernardo Silva situation. We're going to discuss that in just a sec. Before we do, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Let's get those likes past 100 likes, man. We've got nearly 200 people in the stream. Let's get those likes past 100. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. If you want to help support the channel grow, you can become a YouTube channel member. Links in the description. Pinned comment. Sometimes there's a join button. And if you want to be generous, you can also gift memberships by clicking the dollar at the chat. But what I want to speak about is obviously Bernardo Silva. You know what? I'm getting this weird vibe, bro.
Oh, no.
I'm getting this weird vibe about Bernardo Silva. Do you think that maybe he's just resigned to staying? Because we all know, we all know, right, that obviously he wanted to go to Barcelona. Barcelona, that seems now like a pipe dream based on what's going on at Barcelona. We know that he wants to go back to Benfica when he's like 31, 32. I just wonder if maybe, just maybe, there's a chance that actually he could end up staying and then have a sort of agreement that he'll end up going to Benfica. I don't know, man. I just get a weird vibe about it, you know.
I think he's resigned to staying if no one comes in for him. I think I think he might be resigned to his Barcelona dream move not happening anymore. It must be annoying for him as well because it seems like that everyone else around him is the ones where he's going. Do you know what I mean? Laporte, there's been rumours to Barcelona. Gundogan, rumours to Barcelona. He must be like, yo, what about me? Now, I personally don't think he's resigned to staying at Manchester City. I think he still holds out hope of leaving, and I think it'll be this summer. I still have this feeling that he'll leave the club. I think, because I think City will be willing to accept a deal, maybe a cheaper deal than where we've been at in previous years, to kind of just get Bernardo away now. Do you know what I mean? Just get him off the books. I feel like last year we was probably holding out for quite a bit of cash, like a 70 mil, like a, do you know what I mean, that kind of offer. We know that PSG came in for him towards the back end of the transfer window. Now, whether or not they come back in from, I don't know. Now, this, obviously, the Real Madrid thing, I think he'll have it. I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back at the they'll let me leave this football club thing as soon as the season ends. Bro, what you got to think is it was only like a couple of months ago when the transfer window was open, that guy was doing an interview every 2 weeks.
You know what? I completely forgot.
It's easy to forget, innit? I was kind of like, when I see him, I'm like, right, guy's vibing.
You know what it is as well. Maybe there's a little bit of something in me that like he's just desperate
You
for
don't
him
want
to
him to
stay.
go, innit? Yeah, I don't want him
Yeah.
to go. I'd love it if he could stay, but yeah, I think personally, I think he'll leave. Good on a leave. I think we'll go full for Jude Bellingham. I think the Real Madrid links that we're seeing today, which is what the stream's titled over, is probably a good shout actually. Him being their alternative to Jude Bellingham, they'll get him a lot cheaper than what they get Jude Bellingham, and I think he'd do well there. And he completes that move of wanting to go to Spain. So he ticks all the boxes. It's just for the different. It's for the different club in Spain. It's not Barca.
Well, let me go through the latest news then that's come out today. It came out yesterday, actually, on Bernardo Silva. And this is from Rob Dawson at ESPN. Now, he covers both Manchester clubs. He also, by the way, mentioned Jude Bellingham and said that Man City are growing confident on Jude Bellingham. We kind of knew that based on the Ornstein news. But this is what he said specifically about Bernardo Silva. This is what he said yesterday, people. He said this: Real Madrid are monitoring Bernardo Silva's situation at Manchester City if they miss out on Jude Bellingham this summer, which we're hoping that they do because we're hoping City get Jude Bellingham. He also goes on to say, although he's happy at Manchester City, he expects to be allowed to leave if the club receive a suitable offer. And it's because it said that, although he is happy at Manchester City, because it said that, I was like, ooh. I was like, I wonder if he'll be able to stay then or what.
I think it's more of he's happy at Manchester City right now. Like, you know what I mean? He can't move because we're not in the transfer window. I think he is happy in his current situation in that sense. But I think I think he just does want to leave. I think he knows where he stands with it. I think he knows where he stands. He knows where the club stands. So there's no point like moaning about it or being unhappy about it. Like he understands the situation what he's in, and he has to wait until summer. So
yeah, very interesting. It'll be also interesting to see exactly what City are prepared to sell him for this summer, because obviously Bernardo Silva been at the club a few years now. He's got a contract until 2025, so 2 years left on his deal. There's rumours are that City have told him 60 million quid is the fee.
Yeah, go find a 60 mil and
find a 60 mil and you can go. Now I think that fee's really reasonable in the current market.
I think so too.
The problem is
who's going
to exactly. Who's actually going to do it? Real Madrid is. I guess if he is going to leave, it's probably good that Real Madrid are involved because they have the finances to be able to pay 60 million as the PSG. We know that PSG wanted him last year. Do they still want him this season? That'll be an interesting one. Maybe, I think Italian clubs, they're doing really well at Italian clubs at the moment in European competition, but there's still finance issues there, and then in Germany, are Bayern Munich going to spend 60 million quid on him? I just don't think so. So I think for me, it seems like he doesn't want to stay in the Prem. It seems like he just wants to leave the country. It seems to me that you're possibly down to two teams. Can you think of any other teams other than Real Madrid and PSG that could potentially finance this deal and Bernardo Silva would actually want to go to them? Because wherever he goes, he's going to be taking a step down.
The only alternative that I could probably look to is the fact that we could look at doing some form of swap deals if it is right. So say like Italy, Leao, we could kind of do a swap deal there. Or just any other club. But realistically, I only see PSG and Real Madrid, just like I said there. But I think there'd be a lot of clubs who would want him. It's just the cash that's involved. So I think if City do want to play from them, I think then they could do a deal like that. But it's a very strange situation because he has this plan in his head of what he wants to do. He wants to go to Barcelona. Now, that's the only issue that lies there, because how desperate is it? If he doesn't want to go back, say Barcelona can't get him, does that mean he just wants to go Spain? Or do you know what I mean, then PSG, does he want to go PSG, or would he rather just stay at City than go? I think he just wants to get out of Manchester, if I'm honest, or get out of England.
Well, yeah, I think this is where the change is. The impression that I got from the scenario that was being proposed in the summer and last season is that he wanted Barca, and that's all he wanted. He wasn't really wanting to go anywhere else. And I remember when PSG made a approach for Bernardo Silva, and it seemingly was knocked down pretty quickly from Bernardo Silva's side because he wanted to go to Barcelona. Now that Barcelona potentially might not be an option, and at this moment in time, looking like that might not be an option because they're just in the mud, will he now be more open to going somewhere else, whether that be to France, to PSG? Would he go to Real Madrid? Would he go to Atletico, Bilbao? Also, how far is he prepared to drop here? Going to Real Madrid and PSG, that's fine. Would he be prepared to go to an Italian club, maybe Juventus, AC Milan, which is clearly a drop off?
I wouldn't be going Juventus.
well, yeah, because they're also dusted as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like every club's dusted these days.
I know.
Yeah, so like, what is his desire? How much does he want to leave? But the thing is, Rob Dawson's saying he's happy at Manchester City. So
yeah, but I mean, like, he can be right, and both situations can be right. He can want to leave, and he can be happy. Like he could be happy here right now because he can't go right now, and he might feel confident in the situation that this is my last couple of months with City. I'm going to enjoy it, and then I'm getting off in summer. Mm-hmm. So he might be happy. It's just we don't actually know the situation. We don't know whether he is or not. Like,
yeah,
it is a weird one though from Bob Dawson because I did the same thing when I read it. I was like happy at City, and I was like, what? Like, have you not been reading what's been going on for the past like couple of years? But yeah, I don't think there's been a mentality shift for Bernardo. I do think he still wants to leave. I do still think he'll give his all for the club. But it'd be mad. It'd be very different if he U-turns and does want to stay. Like that'd be a plot twist, wouldn't it? That'd be a complete plot twist because then you're only looking for one midfielder there, which would be decent. Imagine having Bellingham and Bernardo.
Yeah,
that'd be mad.
It would be pretty crazy, 100%. Big up Benno for the super chat. Says United fans took over Pool fans. Is very confident on JB. Yeah, I've seen this as well. Man United now are being linked with Jude Bellingham, so it'll be interesting to see if they go in for him because obviously if they get this new owner in, how much are they prepared to spend? This new owner probably will, especially if it's the guy from Qatar, they'll probably want to make a mark straight away to sort of signal some intent, and they might go in for him. And if they go in with, I mean, it's pretty funny because they always call us like money club. They spend more money than us. They spend more money on transfers. They spend more wages on transfers than us. It's bizarre. Anyway, but if they go in and say, look, we'll give you 400k a week or 500k a week, whatever, then he's not coming to Manchester City, people. I mean, because we will not pay that. It's the same thing that happened with Alexis Sanchez. We will not pay silly cash. We will pay some silly cash because all money in football is silly. Cash. But we don't pay silly, you know? So it'll be interesting
we're going to break out, like, we're not going to give him more than what we're giving, like, Haaland or anything like that. So if they even go into that realm of a wage, then, yeah, he'd have to choose that. But then, even then, he might still choose City. But, like I say, I think if that sale goes through, I think they will. They'll definitely be in the hat for him. They'll be throwing their name at it straight away. Yeah.
No, 100%. There's a little bit of news coming out here from an Arab newspaper following the game against Burnley. This is what Bernardo Silva had to say. Now, this is coming from ArabNews.com, so I don't know how reliable they are. Like, but they've got quotes from Bernardo Silva, and this is what he said. He said, talking about Bayern Munich and stuff. And rumours of obviously a move. He said, "This is not the moment to talk about this. There's 3 months left of the season. I'm very focused on Manchester City. Obviously, the speculation doesn't affect me. It doesn't. I try to do my best, and then what happens. He said, "There's 3 months to go, and so many big things we can fight for. The Champions League, which we've always wanted to win. Still, if we win this Premier League, that's 5 in 6 seasons, which is a big achievement. And the FA Cup, which we've only won once since I've been here." We've been losing the FA Cup semi-finals, which is very frustrating for us because it's very important competition. There are big things to fight for, and we are going to be there. So, it's pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting. Bernardo Silva there shutting it down, saying he's focused on Manchester City.
Which is right.
Which is right.
Yeah. Like He shouldn't. He should. Whilst the season's going on and we're going into all, like, do you know what I mean, the business end of it. We need everyone focused and fully focused and not thinking about moving, not thinking about what's happening like elsewhere in their future at the club, like kind of thing, moving away from it. They need to be fully dialed into this season and do the best for us. So him shutting down all that is good. That's good from Bernardo. It's kind of like opposite of what we were seeing in January. In January, he was fully like full sending it. Maybe had like a little glimmer of hope that a January move might come in. So that's why he was full sending it. But yeah, I rate it, I rate it.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very interesting. Let's see what people are saying in the chat, man. Let's have a look. Camilla Haaland has said that City was not the club that offered the most money. Well, that's it. City not going to offer people silly cash. I mean, Haaland's not even the most paid player at the club. Kevin De Bruyne is. If he would have gone to Real Madrid, or if he would have gone to Man United, Chelsea, he would have been the most paid player at the football club. So City are trying to do things in the best possible way. I'm not to say the right way, because when they're still getting paid £375,000 per week, it's difficult to justify that is the correct way of doing things. However, at the same time, City trying to pay players properly in the current market. It's very difficult to not pay them highly because everyone else does, but that's where we're at. Shashir says Barca are unable to register Gavi as a senior player. He will be available at free this summer. Yeah, we know about that. We found out that this morning.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that. Do you know what I mean? He might just say, you know what, I'll stay here and play free. But I think that'd be heavy.
Yeah, I don't think he'd do that. No chance.
But you know what? City'd be the perfect one for Barca to kind of just allow, because they'd probably back themselves to get him back.
Also, not remember there was a little bit of a contract issue though when Lionel Messi said he'd cut his wage in half, and they said they can't do it because you're not allowed to cut your wage in half. Do you remember? Is
it?
Yeah. Do you remember this when City were trying to sign Messi and Barcelona was contemplating re-signing him on a contract, and Messi said he'd play for a lot less, but La Liga rules stipulate that you cannot pay a player. You cannot renew a player's contract on 50% less than that they were currently earning.
That's mad.
So they couldn't do it, and therefore they had to get rid of him because they couldn't afford him. I just think if Gavi's on this contract, this youth player contract, where he's probably not getting paid that much, he'd have to stay on that, or they can't increase it because they need to get cost savings. Obviously, it's been rejected, so they're just completely on board, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they'll activate another lever, bro. Don't worry about it. They'll pull another lever, save Gavi.
Yeah, 100%. Simon Clark in the chat says Bernardo has been brilliant for us 95% of the time. He's difficult to replace. Forget all deals with Barcelona, please. Says Simon Clark in the chat there.
That's because they pay him monthly instalments. I don't even think we ever got the Torres money.
Well, this is there. I mean, have we ever been paid for Torres? I mean, no one knows, innit? No one
knows, innit? Like.
Yeah, 100%. Hunter says Barca's scandal of paying referees could get them banned from next Champions League.
Well, on that first bit there, the referee thing, Zohib just said Barca's been found not guilty about the referee scandal. I've not seen that.
I've not seen that either. No. Well, okay, that's gone pretty quiet then, isn't it? Because I've not seen that.
I've not seen that, unless it's not true, unless he's just seen it from something where it's not actually it. But yeah, I ain't seen that.
Yeah. That's mad.
But yeah, the referee kind of thing that, like Hunter says, that could keep players away from Barca somewhere. Because unlike the City thing, that's very if they've been caught doing that and then that's it, then they could get muddied very fast.
Yeah. Dennis the Great in the chat's a Real Madrid fan, and Dennis says, as a Madrid fan, I don't want Bernardo Silva. We need fullbacks.
Funny that you say that, because we need fullbacks as well, and you've got that further mended on it if you want to fancy sending him us. But yeah, that's who are their fullbacks?
Mendy,
Mendy,
Carvajal.
Oh yeah, Carvajal.
Nacho, I think plays left back sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
I think that's all I can remember. I can't remember.
Do you know Teo Hernandez for AC Milan? I always think that he'll end up at Real Madrid. I don't know why. He just stinks of a Real Madrid move. We always speak about it, and every single time I'm like, I see him in a Real Madrid kit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Alaba. I forgot Alaba went there.
Yeah, but he plays. Does he not play centre back sometimes?
Yeah,
He plays
I thought he played more central, but it's C1 says Alaba sometimes. So yeah, maybe they rotate. Zoe says Madrid will get Hakimi. Yeah, that's another one that stinks for Real Madrid signing as well.
Yeah.
Imagine they got Hakimi and Teo Hernandez, bro. That'd be unreal.
Jeez. That'd be a madness.
Teo Hernandez was in Real Madrid's academy. No way. I didn't know that, Camilla.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I mean that's where we're at with the Bernardo Silva news. Real Madrid are looking. I guess it's just a case of, is anyone going to pay the money, and where's he prepared to go? Because if Real Madrid and PSG don't come in for him, which is very possible, is he then prepared to take a drop in standard and quality of team? Because let's be honest, you can go France and play for PSG, you can go Real Madrid, play for Real Madrid. There's very few other clubs in the world that are going to be able to compete for the Champions League. Now, I know PSG have not really competed, and we've not won it, but we have been getting to finals, semi-finals. You know, you're going to be taking a drop in quality, man. So is he that desperate to leave that he'd go to like a Bilbao, an Atletico Madrid? Would he go to an Italian club? And again, an Italian club's actually doing really well. Will that continue next season? Well, we'll wait and see. We'll have to find out, but it's certainly a very, very interesting scenario.
I don't think he full sends a drop. I think there'd be a club out there who isn't a drop in quality like a PSG. Do you know what I mean? Like a PSG with Bernardo in, I can see that.
Yeah, I think PSG could really do with Bernardo Silva as well.
Yeah,
I think he'd really, really benefit their team because they play quite open football in the Champions League, and I think he'd come in clutch. I really do.
But yeah, then Atletico Madrid, it'd be a shame for him to go there because of the way that they play defensive football on that, I think.
Bit dead, isn't it? And I don't think they need it. You know, because I was saying he suits games where the game's stretched and open. Well, they don't stretch or open no game. They're a dead team. So I don't actually think they get the best of him. I think PSG is probably the club that would get the best out of Bernardo Silva.
I think PSG would be good. I think Real Madrid would be good. I think honestly, them two, I can see Bernardo in both them sides smashing it. But then, I don't know. I was about to say Real Madrid have a lot of midfielders, but
they're all old.
They're all old, and Nick Cruz and Modric are old. But they do. Obviously, they've got Valverde. He can play in the midfield. They've got Tchouaméni. Who's the other Donny? Camavinga. Yeah. I think Bernardo personally. I think if you used to put this on basically, if he was just like, oh, I'll go anywhere, and everyone wanted him, and then he was like, but I want to make sure I get the best out of my game and play all the time. I'd advise him PSG on the basis that I think he'd play week in, week out. I think he'd rip it up, and I think he'd be buzzing. Like obviously it's Paris, so I think his missus would be happy anyway.
Yeah, 100%. There you go. Well, that's your Bernardo Silva update. Real Madrid now looking at Bernardo Silva, and he needs clubs looking at him because Barcelona are in the mud. So if he wants to leave, he's going to have to get his agent to earn that cash and put that agent to work because he needs to bring the bid to Manchester City. That's apparently what City have said to him. Said, if you want to leave, no problem. As with anyone else, you bring us the offer that we feel is right. At 60 million, it seems to be that offer, and then you can go. So will a club find 60 million quid for Bernardo Silva in the summer? We'll have to wait and see. That's your update.
He needs to get Charlie Kane as his agent, bro. He'll find the offer.
Yeah, I mean, we could do with him getting Charlie Kane because that means he'll end up staying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you guys want something else to watch, we uploaded a Laporte discussion about whether or not we're making a mistake selling Laporte in the summer because we all assume he's going to be sold. So if you want to go check that out, that got uploaded on the channel earlier on. We did a stream midday and a stream this morning as well. Loads of content, and there's a YouTube short coming up later on this evening as well for your short form content. But yeah, that's your news. We're back tomorrow with some more interesting developments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and guys, we'll see you in the next one, man. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.